Well, good morning, everyone. Premier, Solicitor General, Chief DEMQ, and everyone here watching. Welcome to the great riding of Etobicoke Lakeshore. You know, I could not be any more proud than to stand here with my friend and fellow Etobicoke resident, Premier Doug Ford, in the best riding to talk about a file that is near and dear to my heart. We are here today to support those who choose public service and public safety first, often ahead of their own safety, and sometimes ahead of their own lives, for all of us, no matter where we live. We have your back, and we will support you through the measures to ensure that you can recruit and retain the right people to enable you to fulfill your critical mission. In my heart and in my mind, there can be no higher calling, and sometimes there can be no greater sacrifice. These are such times. One glance at the headlines will tell you that. So to all of those who heed that call and wear that badge, we thank you. And I want to send a special shout out to the men and women of 22 Division, where community policing I know is your top priority. Thank you for keeping us safe. And now I'll pass the podium over to Chief DEMQ of the Toronto Police Service. I want to thank you, sir, for your leadership, and I want to thank you for your service. Over to you, Chief.
Good morning. Thank you, Ms. Hogarth. I'd like to welcome Premier Ford, the Solicitor General, Member of Provincial Parliament Hogarth, the media, and all of our guests to the Toronto Police College. We are pleased to host the Premier and his team here today. The City of Toronto continues to be one of the fastest growing cities in North America. To ensure that we meet the growing and complex needs of our city, the Toronto Police Service has been prioritizing core services, hiring officers, special constables, and communication operators to work towards ensuring help is available when Torontonians call 911. We are also leveraging advances in technology to create capacity to allow officers to optimize their time to ensure that they are able to respond to each of their calls appropriately. Last year, Toronto's Auditor General identified that response times to all calls were increasing, but in particular to Priority 1 calls. Despite our best efforts, service levels are not keeping up with the increasing demands of the growing city. Our latest budget, approved by City Council, is part of a multi-year plan to help us deliver core policing services and add capacity by adding people, improving technology, and implementing reforms to help address the increasing public safety needs of our communities. This includes improving our 911 response, increasing patrols, focusing on crime prevention, intensive investigations, and victim support, as well as the delivery of our Neighborhood Community Officer Program, a program that is well received and in demand across our city. And while we are not the only organization that plays a critical role in ensuring public safety, we are the ones, along with our emergency response partners, responding to the community's needs on a 24/7, 365-day-a-year basis. Like police services across Canada, we are working hard to recruit, select, hire, and train new police constables, but this takes time, and there are often barriers to getting new officers deployed and on the road. We need support in recruiting and training, and will welcome the news from the province. Today's news will also allow us to provide more effective delivery of policing services to residents in all of our communities. While I speak only for the Toronto Police Service, I am confident police services across Ontario will be pleased with this news today. It will help us boost our capacity and get officers on the road sooner without compromising the quality of training that they need to ensure that they are prepared for the important role they play in ensuring the public's safety. Thank you all, I would now like to invite Solicitor General Michael Kerzner to the podium.
Good morning. It's a pleasure for me to join Premier Ford here at the Toronto Police College to support today's important announcement. And thank you, Chief Demkew and the team at the college for the warm welcome this morning. Thank you as well to my colleague, our local MPP, and my parliamentary assistant, Christine Hogarth, for being here today. It's an honor to serve as Solicitor General, particularly in our government under Premier Ford. A safe Ontario is a strong Ontario, and there has never been a government in our province, in my generation, or in our country that has cared as much about our public safety as this government. Today's announcement is a case in point. I want to thank Premier Ford for his leadership. The Premier and I stand here in continued steadfast support of the Ontario police community and in appreciation of everyone who keeps Ontario safe. Our government, our support for you is heartfelt and enduring, and for our government, our public safety is personal. Today's announcement is about looking boldly towards the future, reimagining possibilities, creating opportunities, recruiting new police officers. And today we're announcing historic changes to support police recruitment. And this is good news for the people considering a career as a police officer, for Ontario's police services, and for all of the people of Ontario. Let's take a moment to recognize the incredible people who step up to serve their communities. They choose to enter a profession filled with risk and sacrifice. And today we're showing our recruits that they are not on this journey alone. Their families and friends support them every step of the way. Police recruits choose to cross the line and pursue a career in public safety. They choose to have our backs. Today, we are taking the steps so that we continue to have their backs too. Our recruits represent Ontario's potential. Our recruits look like Ontario, reflecting our diversity of this great province. And together, they carry a shared mission to make a difference in a person's life when they don't know it and least expect it. We want more people to have the opportunity to become police officers, people from all walks of life and backgrounds who reflect our diversity. And that's what today's announcement is all about. At the core, new recruits choose a career in policing because they believe in our province and in our future. And today's announcement is about optimism. It's about recognizing that our best days lie ahead. Inspired by our recruits, we share that belief. Our recruits bring us the strength and the stability and the continuity to keep our province safe. As we look ahead, let's remember, our province is bigger than all of us. It is more important than any of us. Ontario was here before us and will be here long after us. And most importantly, it belongs to every one of us. Let's keep Ontario safe. Thank you very much.
That's great. Well, good morning, everyone. In behalf of Minister Kerzner and PA Hogarth, and by the way, you both do an incredible job, and I want to thank Chief Demkew and everyone at the Toronto Police College for hosting us today, and especially the amazing recruits right behind us. Thank you. You know, when they get into policing, it's not a job. It's a passion. It's a calling. They go out there keeping our community safe, putting their lives on the line, and I just want you to know each and every one of us appreciate everything that you do. I also want to recognize some of our amazing partners, including Mark Baxter from the Police Association of Ontario, John Cherasulo, and hopefully I pronounced that correctly. I apologize if I didn't, John, from our great Ontario Provincial Police Association, John Reid from the Toronto Police Association, and Chief Nish from the Ontario Association of Chiefs of Police, Lisa Darling and Patrick Weaver with the Ontario Association of Police Service Boards, and Paul Hirbert, Director of the Ontario Police College. Thank you all for joining us. And it's great to see so many recruits with us today and the brave women and men in uniform who are dedicating their lives to keeping our community safe. We're so grateful for your commitment and service to our province. Thank you. Friends, it's no secret that across Canada, we're facing a growing wave of crime. And when I speak to every other premier in every single province and territory, they're saying the same thing. In our big and medium-sized cities, small and rural communities, we're seeing increases in auto thefts, assaults, break-and-enters, and random acts of violence on public transit and on our streets. Here in Toronto, major crimes are up over 20% compared to the same time last year. People don't feel safe. Some are scared to take the subway or to go out for a walk once it gets dark out. And while we have the best and most dedicated police officers anywhere in the world, and I truly believe that, we need reinforcements. We need more police officers on our streets, as we say, boots on the ground. That's why today we're pleased to announce new measures to address policing shortages to get more boots on the ground in every part of the province, including right here in Toronto. To help police services attract new recruits, our government will now cover 100% of the cost of tuition. And for the folks that graduated in January, it's going to make it retroactive all the way back to January to cover their costs as well. For the basic constable training program at the Ontario Police College, and at a time when police forces are telling us recruitment can be challenging. We'll also be introducing legislation that, if passed, will eliminate the post-secondary education requirement to become a police officer, clearing a path for more people to consider a career in policing. And we're immediately expanding the number of recruits that can be trained every year by adding 140 new recruits at the Ontario Police College in 2023 and another 420 by the end of next year. Together, these measures will help attract new recruits, break down financial barriers that may have stopped people from becoming a police officer, and build a pipeline of police officers ready to serve and push back against the growing tide of crime. And friends, while getting more boots on the ground is a critical step in improving public safety, we recognize that it's not the only step. That's why we've invested $267 million to support the Community Safety and Policing Grant Program, arming local police services with the resources and tools they need to do their job. Through our most recent budget, we're investing another $13 million to fight gun and gang-related crime, funding that will help stop illegal drugs from coming into our province and find gun traffickers and put them behind bars. And along with every single province in the country, we're calling on the federal government to take action on bail reform. I'm so pleased that the federal government is working with us to fix Canada's bail system, because we can't have a justice system where violent criminals are arrested one day and back on the streets the next. We're also addressing some of the root causes of crime by investing over $4 billion over the next decade to support those who need help with their mental health and addictions, while also making sure that our frontline officers are better equipped to respond to mental health crisis by investing over $14 million over the past 2 years to expand mental health crisis response teams. Friends, our government will do everything we can to support and protect our police officers and communities as we work together to tackle the increasing crime on our streets. From making investments in community policing initiatives, fighting guns and gangs, to bringing in reinforcements, we will always stand shoulder to shoulder with our policing partners and our heroes on the front line. We'll do whatever it takes to keep Ontarians safe. I want to thank each and every one of you for joining us today, and may God bless the men and women in uniform, and may God bless the people of Ontario. Thank you.
We'll now go to the floor for questions. If reporters could please identify yourselves by name and outlet. Just a reminder, it's one question and one follow-up. First question.
Hi, good morning, Premier. It's Jessica from the Trillium.
Hi, Jessica.
I'm remembering back when you were a city councillor, you had some choice words about the Boardwalk Cafe deal, and I'm wondering if maybe there's some parallels with the Therme deal, or if there's any lessons learned.
No.
Maybe it's a good idea now, but what guarantee does the public have that this will still be a good idea, the Therme deal, 10, 20, 90 years down the line?
Well, first of all, thanks for the question, but that's apples and oranges. But here and there, you know, we're going to build a beautiful destination for the world to see, for Ontarians to come by and visit. We're going to work collaboratively with the City of Toronto, making sure that they're happy on the site at Ontario Place, but also make sure they're happy over at the Science Centre as well. There's a lot of opportunity over there. That's the beginning or the end, whatever way you want to look at it, of the Ontario line. And they you know, they own the land. It's going to be up to them. But we're committed to sitting down and working, again, collaboratively with them. And when we all work together, it just works out so much better. And that's exactly what we're going to do.
On the related issue, at the moment, Toronto City Council is showing some signs of wanting to fight the province over the city-owned land that's part of the Ontario Place plans. How far will you go if the city doesn't want to give up that part of land?
Well, the acting Mayor McKelvey is working closely with our infrastructure minister. And, you know, sure, there may be some politics on one side of that council, but I'm not into fighting with anyone. This is going to be a benefit for everyone. And the people that are going to benefit the most, honestly, are the people of Toronto. They're going to have a brand new, state-of-the-art Ontario Science Centre. We're going to see an increase of 115,000 people going to the new Science Centre. It's going to be spectacular. And as for the old site, if the City of Toronto wants to work collaboratively, again, it's their property. If they need some community benefits, I hear they need a new school, we'll build a new school. If they need a new community center, we'll build a new community center there. If they need, you know, other community benefits, I'm there. But it's all about working together, not working against each other. And I know there may be a few down at City Hall, but I think the majority of people, including the acting mayor, is going to work collaboratively with us.
Hey, good morning, Premier Colin DeMello from
Colin.
Global News.
How you doing?
Well, thank you. Hope you're doing well as well.
Yeah.
So the Ontario Place contract with Therme.
Yes.
A lot of people are wondering, how do you justify giving a lease for public lands to a private company that will span a century?
Yeah, well, that's pretty typical when someone's investing hundreds of millions of dollars. And by the way, I want to make it very clear, there's no public money in this deal. I'm going to repeat that. No public money in this deal. They're coming here to build a state-of-the-art, one of the most beautiful facilities, as they have right across the world. And we're fortunate to have them pick Toronto as one of the sites. But right now, you know, you look at Ontario Place. Have you ever gone down the Gardiner and you see that rusty old bridge and the sign? It's absolutely terrible. And I know that drives Christine Hogarth crazy as well. And by the way, sorry to get off topic, but happy birthday, Christine. So good for you. But you know, we're gonna make it spectacular, and we're gonna work with the City of Toronto. But at the end of the day, we're going to get rid of the weeds and the rundown Ontario Place. Live Nation is going to build something spectacular there. So is Therme and Ontario Science Centre. I'm really excited about this. I really am.
Okay, so can you clarify something? You just said that there's no public money in this deal, yet
That's
the
right.
province has agreed to build this parking structure, which would be built, I believe, using taxpayer dollars. Can you give us a sense of
Well, that's sure, and I appreciate that, Colin. Good.
how much
Sure.
is that parking structure expected to cost?
And as we go through all the details, I'll always be transparent. But that's going to be owned by ourselves. It's going to generate income. It's going to help out Live Nation and Therme. Nothing's worse. Have you ever went down to the concert, down at Ontario Place, and you can't get parking and everything? We're going to put a parking lot, but we aren't throwing money into Therme or Live Nation. What we do in every single deal, we flatten the land, we get it ready to build, and then we're going to go forward. But I'll be transparent as everything goes through. But there's other proponents out there too, and I can't show them our cards. It's like the car deals. You know, you show your cards on one deal, and you have 100 people coming at you other ways. So at the end of the day, this is going to be spectacular, and I look forward to working with the City of Toronto. It's going to be exciting.
Morning, Premier. Liam Casey with the Canadian Press.
Hi, how you doing, Liam?
Good. How are you?
Good.
So you spoke a lot in the past about respecting taxpayers and how much money that is being spent, and you sort of said just now that you're going to tell us eventually how much this is going to cost taxpayers. Can you give us a ballpark of what that will cost or when we will find out?
You know something? First of all, it's not going to cost the taxpayers any money outside of us owning an asset, which is a parking lot, and clearing the land. So we aren't giving Therme money. We aren't giving Live Nation money. And again, with the other proponents on another part, eventually we'll get to, just can't disclose that right at this point without getting confirmation in the exact numbers. But as I've always said, I'll always be transparent. Even though it's not the taxpayers' money, I'll make sure we get the numbers out there eventually.
So sorry, you just said there's another component that...
Well, future components to Ontario Place. Any proponents, I should say, that come up, again, we'll sit down with them. But right now, I think it's going to be out of this world. We have two options here. We leave Ontario Place, like the previous government did, to get run down and no one's utilizing it, or we do something out of this world. And what a tourist attraction, and the people of Ontario. I think people in our vintage all grew up at Ontario Place and had a fabulous time. We're going to make it 10 times better than it was before. We'll have the Science Center, we'll have a new marina, we'll have public beach and you know, the water area for the kids to play in, restaurants and bars and Live Nation. I could go on and on. So you have that, or you just leave it alone. We get things done in our government.
Good morning, Premier. Rob Ferguson from the Star. We hear you're considering preserving the existing Science Center building to use as a community hub. Is that true?
Well, what we want to do is sit down with the City of Toronto. Rob, they own the land. Maybe, you know, they might come back and say, we want a new community center. The thing is old and run down and you know, it's a mess. If the province is saying, we're going to help you out with a new community center, we're going to help you out with a new school, because they're in desperate need of a school, I hear, by all means, let's help them out. But it's all about working together. Again, Rob, I feel there's two options here. We work with the city and make something spectacular up at the existing Science Center and help out the community that's desperately in need of help up there. And we have something spectacular at Ontario Place. And we're gonna get it done, and it's gonna be out of this world.
So you're open to keeping that building there as is, or at least in part?
Yeah, well, that again is gonna have a conversation with the City of Toronto. Either you keep, you know, because it's their land, either keep an old building all run down, or the province is coming in and saying, I'm going to build you something unbelievable, a new community center. I think the people of that community, and I've door knocked a lot of doors in that area, would say, give me the new community center, give me a real great school, and maybe some other areas that they need support in. We're going to be there for them. We're going to support them.
This will be the last question.
Hi, Premier Dustin Cook with the Globe and Mail.
Hey, Dustin.
I'm wondering, to follow up on the pushback from Toronto City Council, mayoral candidates, some of them have also spoken out against the Ontario Place plan. If Toronto City Council doesn't move forward with the land exchange, will your government expropriate?
Well, we're going to work with them. You know, this is the height of politics right now at the city. You have all the mayoral candidates running around saying this, saying that. You have the councillors jumping in there. At the end of the day, we're going to work with them. We're going to do something better than what's there right now in both locations. And I just look forward to working in cooperation with them. But this is the height of politics right now in the city of Toronto with the election going on.
You said you're committed to transparency, releasing the numbers. Will you commit to releasing the business case for moving the Science Center?
Yeah, we're always going to be open to it. You know, you can either have an old facility. Do you know what kills me about the Science Center? The board approves it. The employees are excited. They're in this old rundown building that the attendance is down 40%. I could look around this room and ask how many people have gone to the Science Center in the last, I don't know, year, 2 years. One? I don't see anyone. So that my point is, you know, like, okay, Colin did. Yeah, just because you probably did a story on it. That's the only reason you went. But anyways, I promise you one thing, every single person, even the people that are saying, no, I don't want to do it, I will guarantee you, folks, guess who's going to be in line at the Science Centre? Guess who's going to go to a Live Nation show? Guess who's going to bring their kids to Ontario Place? The same people, the naysayers, are going to show up there, sure as I'm standing here. They'll be first in line and having a great time, and there's nothing wrong with it. So this is going to be fantastic for the City of Toronto and the people of Ontario.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. And again, I want to thank our frontline police officers. I think the world of you. You know something, if it wasn't for you, we wouldn't have safe communities. I want to thank the leadership of the police services right across our great province. You're all absolutely champions. I'll always have your backs. And again, God bless you. Thanks, everyone.